Thanks for staying with us. I'm Justin Kolar. A Lowcountry judge has not yet made a decision on whether to pause the work of Charleston County School District's new education foundation after an injunction request from a nominee not named to the board. Our Caroline Spikes has more from the courtroom today.
It was a lengthy hearing today that lasted nearly 4 hours, centered on a controversy that's grown over the last few weeks.
Both sides gave their arguments, with Dr. Brian McClure's attorney, Emmanuel Ferguson, saying the school district failed to follow the state FOIA laws by not including every nomination in the agenda before the meeting. But CCSD's attorney says they are only required to include the listed item agendas under FOIA, and that information, like a list of nominees and their bios below the items, are supplementary information for trustees. There were 5 witnesses today, including Board of Trustees Carolina Jewett, Dr. Carol Temple, and Darlene Dunmai Robertson, as well as Chief Financial Officer Daniel Prentice and Superintendent Anita Huggins. Huggins said principals reported to her the concern of division or disruption in schools following the outburst in these board meetings.
It's significant to say that when adults can't align in the belief for children, it detracts from the mission of the district. Yes, ma'am.
After the hearing, Ferguson said they are wanting more clarity in the foundation's bylaws. He said they want to pause the foundation and to seat District 8 properly.
Because its mission is to bring the community together, to help children be the best they can be across the entire district. And that's going to need to have diverse opinions, diverse ideas, and thoughts.
Ultimately, the judge said he'll make a decision by the end of the week on whether or not the Education Foundation's work will be put on pause temporarily. Reporting in downtown Charleston, I'm Caroline Spikes, Live 5 News.
Now, the school district said for their part they have no comment following today's hearing.